Hi guys, I'm going to quickly show you my everyday makeup routine today. I get lots and lots of questions about exactly what I use and how I apply my makeup, so I'm going to just show you a really basic look today. I have already prepped my skin. I put this BHA Blackhead Power Liquid on after I washed my face. And I will put the link for this down below in the comments. You can get it on Amazon. It's pretty affordable, and it helps get rid of blackheads and tightens up your pores a little bit. After letting that sit for about 5 minutes, then I put on my Neutrogena oil-free moisturizer, and then I let this sit for about 5 minutes or so while I'm blow drying my hair. And I have already pre-wet my beauty blender because they have to be wet and I don't have a sink in my bedroom. So I start with color correcting, and I really like this LA Girl Pro concealer. For underneath my eyes I use this buff color, and to correct any redness I use the Green Pro concealer. You get these as a pack of 3. There's a red one, but the red one I think is more for dark skin, and I never use it because obviously I'm kind of pale. So I start by, you just gently squeeze it and then you put it underneath your eyes. And then I take the green one and do the same thing on any red spots. And I am having massive breakouts lately, so I have a fair amount of red spots. And I kind of like to just do my whole chin because my whole chin's kind of red. My whole nose is kind of red. And then you just dab it out with your beauty blender. I use the little end up in my under eye, and I do that first. And it doesn't completely get rid of the dark circles, but it does help significantly. And I have no idea how I managed to get it on top of my eye, but we'll just dab that out too. And then I go back and do the green. I do the under eyes first because I don't like to transfer the green all over my face. And then after that's all blended out, I like to set my face before my foundation. This seems really strange, but I have kind of oily skin and I have really big pores. And I found that when I set with powder before my foundation, I tend to not get so oily by midday. I buy this Coty Airspun, Coty, I don't know how you pronounce it, loose face powder, and I do the translucent. And it smells like old lady perfume, but it works really well. And it comes with a little puff, and I just dab it on my face, and I go all over my face. Then I do my foundation. I love DoubleWear foundation. It's very full coverage, and it stays all day on me. Like I said, I have oily skin, so that's a struggle for me. And the color I use in the summertime is Dusk. It's 3C1. And so then I just put a little bit on my hand. The only thing I don't like about DoubleWear is that it doesn't come with a pump, but I do believe you can buy a pump to go with it. So then I just put it on my hand like that, and I use my hand as like a palette. And this is probably too much. And by the way, this is a Real Techniques brand knockoff beauty blender. They're under $5 at Walmart. And I haven't tried a real beauty blender, but I've heard that these are very, very similar. And I don't want to spend $20 on a sponge that I can only use for a couple months and throw away, so I just use this. So the next thing I do is I take my, this is kind of wearing off, but it's Lorac Eye Primer. It came, or Lorac, however you say it. It came with my Lorac palette that I bought a few months ago. And I use my third finger because your third finger is your softest. And I just dab it on my eyelids up to my brow bone. And a little bit underneath. And the next thing I do is my brows. I really like this NYX matte pencil, or micro pencil, excuse me. And sometimes I use that to outline my brows, sometimes I don't, but I love the brush that's on the end of it. So I just clean up my brows with that. Make sure they're pointing in the same direction. And then I take a Morphe M160 1/8 brush. It's got a small end on it. And my dip brow in caramel. And I put a little bit on the brush. Scrape off the sides. And then I take the lid, as you can see it's all brown inside, and I wipe it off inside the lid to get the excess off because you don't want too much. And then I start on the underneath side of my brow and I follow my natural brow line. And then I go on the top. And then I fill in. And if you need more, you can scrape on your lid to get a little more. And then after you've filled them in how you like, then you just do a little bit very lightly on the end so that it's even. If you hold your brush up, it's even with the inner corner of your eye. So next I do my eyes, and right now this Morphe 35OM palette is one that I'm really liking for fall. It has a whole bunch of very pretty matte colors in it that are fallish, neutrals, browns, oranges. And for a basic eye look, I'll just use this color here as my transition color, and then I use this white for my lids, and then I use this brown for my outer corners, and then this I do very, very outer corner. So I'll show you how to do that. 28, and I'm not positive that this brush is still available because they changed the Elite collection, and so I will go on the website and link all the brushes, and if this one isn't available, I will find one that's similar. So I dab my brush in the color, and then I just tap it off, and then I start above the crease on the brow bone. And then I take my Morphe M124. It's got this nice flat soft end on it. And I take the white color again and do my lids. I take the Morphe B13, which is a really fluffy, wide brush, and I take this brown here. It's not super dark, but not as light as the transition color that we used on our brow bone, and I just gently go in that. So then I use my M505 to blend it out and make sure that it gets into the creases. And then I use an E36, and again, this brush might not be available, and if it's not, I will find something as a sub. It's just a nice stiff pencil tip brush. Whoops. And I take the darkest color, and I just very gently go along my lash line about halfway and kind of do a point up through the crease. This is a really, really nice blending brush. It's really soft, but very dense. Normally I do a liquid liner, but I got this Cargo Swimmables in my last Allure beauty box, and the color is Pebble Beach, and I'm really liking it for just an everyday look. It's so kind of like a crayon. It's kind of waxy. So I pull my eyelid tight, and I start in the inner corner on the top and just draw it on to the thickness that I like. And then I do the waterline on the bottom, but I only go about halfway. I take my lashes, and I forgot to look and see which lashes these are. They're Red Cherry brand, but I don't remember which number they are, so I will look it up and I will write it in the comments. So they're just a very light everyday lash, and I use Kiss lash adhesive with aloe. I really like this stuff. It has a brush on it, which I love. So then I put the glue on the lashes. This is awkward, trying to use it at this angle. And I make sure that I have a good amount on the corners, because that's where they like to lift first. So it's all glued. And then I set it down and let it sit. And when you're first starting, I advise only gluing one side at a time, but I do both. And I glued it, set it down. And while those are drying, then I start working on my contour. I am using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. It's all dusty. And I use this middle color on the bottom for my contour. And then I use the Morphe M527 brush. As you can see, I use it a lot. So I just dab my brush in, and then I run from the corner of my ear down about even with the corner of my mouth. Like I said, this is a lot easier when my hair is wrapped in a towel, but I do a little along my hairline here. And then under my chin. And then I take my powder again and the Morphe M459 brush, it's a stubby brush, and I bang on my powder like this so that I can get some, and then I dab it along here so that my contour doesn't run all the way down to my jawbone. And I let that sit and bake while I finish the rest of my makeup. So then my lashes are pretty much drying. So I pick them up by the corner and I take my tweezer, and you can use any tweezer, slanted tweezers I find work the best. And then I line them up in the middle, and I put my inner corner so that it kind of matches with the inner corner of my natural lash. And these are not cooperating with me today. And then I do my outer corner. And make sure that they're straight and even. And you want to glue them onto your lid, not your lashes. The very edge of your lid. And then I just kind of take my finger and push my natural lashes up into them. I have been using this Physicians Formula Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls in Light Bronze Pearl as kind of a blush for a nice neutral look. It's kind of brownish. And then I use a Lancome #1 brush for this. For this stuff, it's kind of hard to get it on the brush, and this brush is more coarse. It's more coarse than I normally would use, but nothing else I have lifts the product up, so. And it just gives you a nice glow. And I go on top of my contour on my cheekbones with this. And then I'll do my lips. For a neutral look, I really like the Jefferee Star Celebrity Skin. I don't know if you can see that. I love all Jefferee Star lipsticks that I've tried. They last all day on me. I might have to reapply once if I eat something really greasy. And I like this applicator. So the lashes should be dry now. And since I don't use a whole lot of mascara, I tend to just use the little sample sizes that you get as gifts when you shop at Ulta or Sephora, or I get them in my different beauty box subscriptions quite often. This one is Smashbox Full Exposure. I like the applicator on it. And then I just go in and I just hit my natural lashes and the base of the falsies just to blend them in. And I do my bottom lashes. I take, this is my very favorite brush in the entire world. This is a Morphe M508, and it's nice and stubby. I take this and I use it to fill in and smoke out my liner. And if I'm wearing black liquid liner, then I use black eyeshadow. If I'm wearing this brown liner, then I'll take this dark color again that I did on the outside corners of my eyes. I just dip my brush in there on both sides and tap it off. And then I just go in and I fill in here to kind of cover up the glue and any gaps that might be showing. And then I take it and I smudge out my bottom lash line with this. This is where I really love this brush. And all I do is I take one of my eye brushes, doesn't really matter which one, just one of these tapered brushes, and I take my Tartelette palette and I use this white here. This is the Tartiste contour palette. But after I got the Kat Von D palette, I'm really not too crazy about the contour colors in here. They kind of look like you have mud on your face by the end of the day on my skin. I've seen them look great on other people's skin. So then I just highlight the end of my nose a little bit. I don't do my whole nose because, like I said, it's really crooked and I make it look even more crooked. And then I do my Cupid's bow. And then I take an E36, which is a smaller pencil brush. You could use any small tipped pencil brush. And I dip it in that same white, and then I go underneath my brows here to highlight that. And this just kind of opens up your eyes and makes them look a little brighter and wider. And then I take my clean powder brush, which I forgot in the bathroom, so I'll just use my blush brush, and buff off the powder under my contour. And fluff up my hair a little bit, and that's it. If you have any questions, comment below, and I will put links for everything that I used today down there. I tend to do most of my shopping online because I live in the middle of nowhere, and then I get some stuff at Target. So I will make sure to put links for where I get everything, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.